I came to CSU from Albuquerque, New Mexico to study civil engineering.
I came to CSU from Los Alamos, New Mexico to study wildlife biology.
I grew up in a loving Christian home.
I grew up in a loving Christian home.
Even though I had this religious background, when I came up to college, I was basically ready to give up on God because I had this sense that if I really believed in Jesus, my life probably should be different than it was.
When I came up to CSU, I was a pretty angry and bitter person, and most of that was directed towards God. I had lost my mom to cancer 18 months before that.
Well, when I came up to school, found out that my new home for the next year was going to be Allison Hall, the engineering dorm, 3rd floor southwest.
So when I got up to CSU, I found out that I was going to be living in Allison Hall, the engineering dorm, of which I desperately tried to get out of and go to a cooler dorm.
During those first 3 weeks of school, I basically was trying to run away from God. But there were these 2 Christian guys that lived on my dorm floor who loved Jesus and lived it out in front of me. The first time I'd ever seen people's faith that they proclaimed match up with the life that they were living. And it was basically through their influence that all the stuff that I learned over the years kind of came rushing in. And for the first time in my life, the gospel made sense, and I became a follower of Jesus Christ.
When I got to college, my life pretty much continued on the same path I was on from high school, just looking for the next party and trying to dull the pain that was in my heart.
I also distinctly remember that we never separated ourselves or isolated ourselves from our non-Christian friends. Living in the dorms, you just kind of do life with everybody, and so we had a lot of time together just cultivating friendships and relationships. I remember there in the dorms, basically every day before dinner, a group of us would get together in our room and play Hearts, the card game, and I was always whooping up on everybody.
At about 5 o'clock, you could pretty much count on the group of us being in somebody's dorm room, sitting around in a circle playing Hearts, and I'd pretty much whoop up on everybody.
And then every night we would all go down and have dinner together and spend time just getting to know each other and hanging out.
We had a lot of time just to hang out and cultivate friendships with each other.
One day, my more zealous Christian friend came up to me and said, "Dude, we should do a Bible study called Who is Jesus and invite our closest non-Christian friends." And I thought to myself, well, I thought out loud, are you crazy?
These Christian friends of mine invited me to a Bible study, of which I had never gone to, about Jesus. But it was intriguing to me, and I had a lot of questions, so I said, sure.
So doing this Bible study, we were definitely out of our element. I remember we're in the dorm room 5 minutes before everybody's supposed to show up, and we're trying to figure out exactly what the passage meant that we were supposed to be doing together in this Bible study.
For the first time, really, I felt like I had the freedom to ask questions about Jesus, about the Bible, about faith, about why my mom died, to people who I really cared about and I knew cared about me, and I knew that they were different than I was because of what they believed. As I look back on that time in my life, I can see so clearly how God was using these Christians to help me see who God is and to help me understand what the gospel was about.
It was sometime just before Easter 1992 that she gave her life to Jesus. I remember because we were having lunch together down by the lagoon over on campus.
We had gotten done eating our peanut butter and honey sandwiches, and he asked me if he could pray for me. And I thought, sure, I guess that wouldn't hurt. And as he did, there was for the first time peace in my heart and in my life.
You know, when I look back on that first year of college, it was probably one of the most exciting seasons in my entire Christian journey. Because what could be more joyful and more fulfilling than seeing God use you to be a part of Him drawing somebody to saving faith that you love and care for very much. It was so exciting.
I am so thankful that God never allowed me to move out of the engineering dorm and go to some party hall, because it was through the lives of these Christian guys that I really saw and heard and believed in Jesus, and I became a different person because of the relationships that I had with them.